What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more Surviving with ActuallyAdditions. And today, guys, we are going to be setting up some new power generation, and we're going to be doing that using the heat collector. Now, this is a pretty simple block to work with. It's going to be a block you place down with 4 buckets of lava around it, and then it's going to generate 40 crystal flux per tick. So it's nothing stellar, but because of how you set it up, you can pretty much set up a checkerboard pattern to get the most bang for your buck and expand it pretty much as you want. So we're not going to be making a super huge setup today. I'm going to be using 5 of them, but you can expand this to be as big as you want, and it will generate you obviously more and more power as you go, and it won't really require that you change the setup at all other than adding in the additional heat collectors and lava blocks. Now, the only downside to this pretty much very easy setup is going to be that unlike a lot of the other blocks where you place lava down around them and they generate power, this one has a chance to consume the lava blocks around it. Now, it's a very small chance, and I'll get into the numbers a little bit later when we're setting it up, but that does slightly affect your setup because instead of being a set it and forget it, like a lot of the other ones that I was mentioning before, this one you do have to set it up if you want it to be that way. You can't place it down without having a way to get the lava back. So there is a way to do that using only ActuallyAdditions, but if you've got other mods, you could just pump it from the nether and you would have no problem at all. So we're going to be setting it up today that we will create our own lava using the lava factory, pump that in, and we will still get an enormous net gain of power. So lots of crafting that needs to be done today, although it's pretty much crafting a bunch of the same blocks. So we're going to start things out by making our 5 heat collectors. They're not very expensive at all because this is intended to be an early game setup. So they're right here. It's going to be 2 advanced coils, an Inori crystal, iron case, 4 iron bars, and a redstone repeater. So there we go. We've got our 5 heat collectors. The next thing we're going to be making is going to be the lava factory itself. Now, if you've never worked with this before, it's actually a pretty interesting block. It's going to allow you to put in 150,000 crystal flux, and I know that seems like a lot, but it's going to give you 1 block of lava, and it was balanced around being used with this setup. So don't worry, it's not a lot compared to the power you're going to get. I was worried at first too, but we're going to set this up using 3 lava buckets, and then 3 advanced coils, an iron casing, and 2 empowered Inori crystal blocks. So there's the lava factory controller. That isn't the only thing you need for it though. You do need 4 pieces of casing, and luckily we do get our buckets back, but we need 4 pieces of casing, which is going to require 1 iron casing and 2 Inori crystal blocks. So to craft this, you're just going to put them in a line, and there you go. You get 32. So you get quite a bit. You only need 4 of them, so if you want to set up a bunch of these, feel free, but you really don't need to. The next thing we're going to do is start making the energy laser relays. Now, the reason we have so many of these is because we don't just need the energy laser relays. We are going to need the fluid laser relays because that's how we're going to get the lava into our system. Obviously, you could replace this though with any way to transport fluid. This is really the only good way that we have right now in ActuallyAdditions, so that's what we're going to go with. It is a little expensive. It's a lot of obsidian and redstone, but it really shouldn't be too bad in the end. So I have 21. That should be more than enough for energy laser relays and fluid relays. We're going to be using both. And the last thing that we have to set up, it's actually 2 things. Got to make sure I don't accidentally click that organize button, but we're going to be setting up the fluid placer and fluid collector. So we need 12 fluid placers with 5 of the heat collectors. It'll change based on how many you want in your checkerboard pattern. I can't say. There's probably an equation you could use to put in the number of heat collectors and how many you need, but I haven't thought of that right now. I'm not going to try and do it on the spot, but there is 12 to 5 right now, so if you want to go with 5, you'll need 12 and then 1 fluid collector for the lava factory itself. So grab those out. It should be an auto. I believe we're going to have to make auto placers, but yes, we'll make the auto placers. We need 12 of those. And then we are going to make the fluid collector, which is an auto breaker. And then we are just going to put these in and buckets on each side. So it is a lot of buckets. That's where most of my iron is going to go, but we'll get all the fluid placers now. And there we go. So we got 12 fluid placers, 1 fluid collector, and we should be good to go. Now, the only thing that I'm actually going to need to do that I forgot about is I need to go collect some lava. And it looks like there is some lava on the surface if we look at the map right now. That should be no issue, but that's just going to allow us to jumpstart this system whenever we want. So it'll make it a little bit easier. If you've got a lot of power starting out, you could just put the power in, and it'll start generating lava using the factory. But we're going to set it up first, and then we'll go get the lava and actually start running it. So I'm going to clear out this area right here. I want to keep it close to the setup we made last episode, which is the mining lens, just because this is where pretty much all the excess power is going to be going. And it's actually going to be quite a bit, so we'll clear this area out. I think this might be big enough in terms of length and width right now, so we'll see. We'll start out in the very center. We'll put one heat collector, and then we are going to put the other 4 around it like so, and then we are going to go down 1. So go down 1 in all these spots, so it's pretty much going to be going down 1 in the spots that the lava would need to be for these to start generating power. So like that, and like that. So just in each adjacent block, and then we're going to go down and place the fluid placers. So I know it's going to look a little bit rough around the edges right now. We can make it look better in the future. Not super worried about aesthetics for the time being. I just want to get these down. So there we go. And all 12 are down now. So the purpose of these, if you couldn't already guess, is to place the blocks of lava if any of them ever disappear. So these are fine to leave on their current mode of deactivation because we want them constantly trying to place the lava. Now I am going to go sleep, but while we do that, I guess I can talk about the percent chance that the lava will get consumed. So essentially, if you're thinking about it in ticks, every 1,000 ticks, there is a 0.5% chance that this will consume a block of lava. Now keep in mind, there are 4 blocks of lava around the heat collector. This chance is to consume 1, and it's to the heat collector itself. Each block of lava does not have a 0.5% chance to disappear. The collector has a 0.5% chance every 1,000 ticks to take one. So you're really not having that high of a chance to lose a ton of lava. But if you want to think about this per hour, it's a 36% chance per hour. So you're going to have these running for quite some time before you actually run into blocks of lava being taken away. So don't worry at all if you're pumping it and you think you're going to run out, or you're generating it and you're worrying that you're going to spend a lot of crystal flux. Neither one is going to be an issue because you're really rarely going to lose lava. The only purpose of making it get consumed, as far as I know, is to make it so you don't just set it and forget it without doing a little bit of automation. So now that we've got it like this, we can kind of fill in the blocks around it just because we don't want this lava going anywhere. And it's going to look a little weird if we wanted to put glass above this, which I am going to do right now, just so that we don't accidentally step in the lava. But eventually we could probably drop it down 1 or build up around it so it's not just sticking out of the ground. But I'll just place this down and start putting these around it. And you know what? I'm probably going to go off camera, finish this, and then I'll go grab the lava because we need to place that down before I start putting these down, now that I think about it. So I'll go grab the lava and bring it over here, and then I'll finish putting the glass down and we can jump back and start automating the production of lava. Okay guys, so we are back. Now everything should be good to go. The glass should be over every single block of lava. I guess we'll find out if I accidentally step in one. It still makes me nervous just walking around here, even when it's like this, because you fall into these heat collector ones, and I don't know, I feel like I'm falling into lava, so, you know, I really don't want to die and lose 31 levels, but I think we're safe. And all of these have started generating power, so you can see that they are sitting at 9,000. This one's sitting a little bit higher, but they are sitting at some amounts of crystal flux in them, and that is because they've got all the different blocks of lava around them good to go. So what we can do is come down here, and this is kind of the area where we are going to set up the lava generation itself, just so that it's kind of hidden from the world outside. We don't actually need to see it, and we can hook it up easily to each one of these fluid placers. So I took the laser relays, turned them into fluid laser relays. I've got 13, 12 for the fluid placers, and then 1 for the fluid collector that is going to be sending to those. So we'll set those up once we have the lava factory going, which I'm going to put down. I guess we might as well put it down. Ooh, this is gonna spill lava, isn't it? Okay, it didn't spill any lava. Is this one? No, okay, I guess we got a little bit lucky. So we're going to put it down over here in this corner just so we have some room. And I'm going to fill this in really quick right up here. So we'll place down the lava factory controller right at the base. And then you need the 4 casings around it to contain the lava. And we actually need to go down 1 and slap down the fluid collector right above it. So there we go. That should be on deactivation just like we want it, because we want it to continuously try and collect it. And if we really want to see how much power is in this, we can just mine out down here. it contains 300,000 crystal flux internal buffer, so it's got enough to make 2 things of lava. And then obviously we've got an internal buffer of 8 buckets on this, and each one of these has 8 buckets. So you'll have to get a pretty sizable buffer before you actually start giving power off to other things. But then you should be set to go, and that's mainly the only annoying part, is that you have to fill up all of these before it'll start doing a full backup, and you can start sending all the power somewhere else. So we'll start hooking this stuff up. So we need energy laser relays. We want one to come down here, and this needs to get hooked up to all the different things up here. So hook it up to each one of these, like so. So these should all be good. Now we can take our wrench and hook these up. So we'll hook up all these to the middle one, and then grab that, and we will bring it down. So there we go. So this should start getting all the power from upstairs. So it should be getting 40 CF per tick from each one. So you can see it's actually filling up pretty quick right now. It'll keep going pretty quick. Obviously it's draining the internal buffers to start, but it should actually generate a bucket of lava very soon. So we should be able to see that. When it does hit 150,000, it takes a little bit, but it should make it relatively soon. We'll see a big drop in the power. So yeah, it says the lava factory is complete. Yep, there we go. So it did just make the lava. Now this should have collected it. It does take a little bit, and it's actually pretty dark down here, so I'm going to light it up. It just occurred to me that you guys might have a little bit trouble seeing. So there we go. Everything is good to go down here, except we need to transport the lava using the fluid laser relays. So we should be able to just do this, and this is why I waited to do this at the very end, and we're going to hook these up kind of one at a time. So this should drain into that. Yeah, so we're going to go kind of one at a time, just so that we can easily hook them up, because they are going to block our pathway a little bit. So hook all of these up to that main one. We probably could hook these up to each other if we change the settings a little bit, but ooh, yeah, we are kind of going to get blocked in here. Okay, this is like painting a garage. Like if you're painting your garage floor or something, I know people do like coatings on the floor. If you ever did that, I feel like this is probably similar, where you're trying to like back your way out without, you know, getting yourself stuck. Okay, these should all be hooked up now. Wait, we're missing 2. Which 2 do we miss? Oh my gosh. Okay, this is bad. We're missing 2. Oh, are there 2 more? Okay, there are 2 more over there. Okay, so we need to go over. So I'm actually going to break this one, and we need to come over 1 more. Oh, lava's going to spill on us here, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. Cool. Okay, so these need to get hooked up too. Right here. So from this to that, and this to that. And then finally, it's that one connecting to this one. So there we go. Now they should all be hooked up, and we can come back upstairs. Ooh, it is nighttime out. Okay, so we can see that none of the blocks of lava have disappeared yet. If they were to disappear before you fill up those internal buffers, I do have buckets of lava to manually replace it. It is a little bit annoying, because then you kind of have to either go down here and place them into the fluid placers, or break the glass and put them down. But as you can see, these are still going strong, generating power, and have not consumed any yet. So it will take a while before the first one gets consumed. I'm not going to wait for that on camera, mainly because it could actually be indefinitely, if you really think about it. So maybe I'll get lucky and it'll never consume a block of lava. But they do generate solid power, and once the buffers get filled, we can start pumping that elsewhere. So if we watch this, you can see the power down there is just the raw power generation right now. So it's going up pretty fast. And I guess next time when we come back, all of this should be filled, and it'll just start powering our ore generation up here. So that was the main purpose of it today, but it is a very effective way to generate power early game. So hopefully you guys can put this to good use. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to give it a like, as it does help me out a lot. And I just wanted to say that I am a week away from finishing my internship, which means then I will be back on track with more frequent videos. I know it has been a long 12 weeks. Believe me when I say I know. Working, 40 to 50 hour weeks definitely is draining, and I know it must suck for you guys too, not having videos that you really want to see, but I will do my best once I finish to get them out as fast as possible and continue making high quality content. So until then, I will talk to you guys later.